The Broken Blueprint Part 3. More Accreditation Demands. 1938. Doubling of classes required. In 1938, Megan contacted Dr. Cutter, Secretary of the Council on Medical Education in Chicago, to inquire as to what would be involved as CME started a training program for dentists. Cutter's startling reply informed Megan that, although many of the medical and dental courses in basic sciences were the same, yet Cutter said they would have to attend different classes. This would require many more teachers. The same year, directives, actually orders, were sent to CME from Chicago to raise the entrance requirements for new students and hire full-time teachers with adequate specialized training in each of the various departments. The cost of fulfilling the second of these was destined to be immense. It also required hiring large numbers of non-Adventist teachers. 1939. Demand for CME research. The demands of the AMA on Loma Linda never ceased. In 1939, Fred Zaff wrote CME demanding that your teachers spend a fair amount of time doing research work. As you may know, this is the quiet scandal of every large university in America in our own era. The major professors spend their time doing research while graduate students teach classes below the doctoral level. Beginning in 1939, the AMA wanted Loma Linda to fall into line, or else. During the 30s, scientific research in the medical schools of America came into prominence, and this trend brought demands from alumni and medical association officials for CME to advance in this field. The thinking of this decade was summed up by Dr. Zaff when he said, "It is the function of every medical school to teach and to do research, and, I may add, to care for the sick in its hospitals." A teacher who has not been bitten by the research bug is not a real teacher. He is merely a dispenser of knowledge in which can be gotten by reading a textbook or the literature. He merely passes on what he has read, which is not real education at all. Such teaching is being discouraged and even condemned more and more. There is so much that is unknown that it is not difficult to find a research problem. Neff, for God and CME, quoting Fred Zaff's letter to Megan, March 2, 1939. Another inspection visit was made this year by the American Medical Association and the Association of American Medical Colleges. In addition to other criticisms, the inspection team was critical of the fact that Loma Linda was still on two campuses. From the early years, they had always favored a single mammoth training facility in Los Angeles. 23 years later, in 1962, the AMA would make a major change in its requirements on this matter. The result brought additional heavy expense to Loma Linda. More on this later. By 1939, Percy Megan was 72 years of age. The heavy pressure of trying to keep pushing CME upward to meet AMA demands with all the consequent problems and expense year after year was wearing him out. Things are getting harder and harder, and there is no question in my mind but that we are being obliged to do things under very difficult circumstances. Megan to Sutherland, August 20, 1939. By 1940, Percy Megan was exhausted from the continual battle, and he would lie in bed for weeks at a time. His heart was beginning to give out. Between March and June 1942, he resigned from all his positions. On December 16, 1947, Percy Tilson Megan died of a heart attack. He was 80.